and it's their intrinsic
Beliefs now. This food basically robs.
sound feasible, sound like
sense. So you can't keep on sinning continually, knowing you are sinning, and get away with it according to their Bible. But also, the Bible tells you that if you love the world, if you are doing things that this world requires of you, then friendship with the world is enmity with God. It's something I pointed out before. So all these people who are following the trends, following the world, and doing all these things that is not right or acceptable before God according to the Bible, it's not wrong for you to point these things out and just be truthful and tell them that, hey, this is what you are not supposed to be doing, but you do anyway. This is how I start the conversation when I try to get people to understand, it's another way to go, and that they don't have to be, sucked into this whole religious thing. They need to understand the truth about the Bible and religion, and that they don't have to deal with all the guilt and a debate of them, trying to stick with Christianity and trying to do what they want to do, because that's what it's all about. You fighting against yourself. You're fighting against your subconscious. You want to go do this, but deep down that you're not supposed to because it's against your religion. And that's all it is. It's the struggle. You fighting against yourself for no reason. This is why the Bible says, when you know the truth, it shall make you free. Because then once you understand the Bible and what it is, and that it's just a parable, it's not all true, and that stuff you should be taking literally, then that weight is lifted off your shoulders, and you can just exhale and be like, okay, I can do what I need to do. I can go enjoy myself. I can go do this. I can, you take a different road. Most people have chosen to take the conscious road and, really get into real spirituality and understand, nature and energy and things like that. And some people just like, okay, party time, go out and do all the crazy fucked up shit I wanted to do when I thought I was a Christian and enjoy it. But, the message that I give to people is not to do that, but just to understand the truth and what you should be doing with your time, instead of, going out here and paying these preachers to lie to you. So as I said before, the black community need hope so bad that we are willing to allow people to just, use religion to get by. And that's what people are doing. It's like that Band-Aid to get through the hard times in life. Some people want to turn to Jesus. They want to turn to their religion and just have that hope that everything is going to be better. It's going to be all right. God got me. Jesus got me, and stuff like that. And, it's hard to take that away from a person who, is living in poverty or has fallen on hard times, and then you take away their only hope and you don't really give them anything in return, because this is what people want. This is the question that I get from a lot of people all the time. Okay, well, if the Bible is not right, who do I pray to? How do I talk to God? Not realizing that the whole notion of praying and God and things like that you got from your religion in the first place. So if it wasn't no church, and if you didn't, hear a preacher preach or seen altar call and everything like that, you probably would not be talking about who do I pray to, or, how do I talk to God? When the concept of God is man-made, and it's something that we are so far from understanding. People and religion is so far from understanding, they can't even fathom that there is something outside of Christianity and, Islam and stuff like that, especially if you were born into one of these religions and it's all that you know. It's hard to fathom that there is something else outside of it, and that everything that, you have been taught could possibly be a lie. It's tough to lay that on people. And I put out a lot of videos against Christianity, but I'm not that insensitive enough to understand the stuff that people go through with their religion. My whole thing is, the people who I'm hardest on the most is the ones who I know are just like, so totally living life against what their Bible says. And I know their lifestyle. I know how they is. And the people who come to the comment section and automatically it's a cuss word or automatically a derogatory statement, something crazy, and then you got a nerve to be trying to talk about Jesus after that. Get the fuck out of here with that shit. Some people just want to talk shit. Some people think that they're gonna get some kind of reward for talking shit. I don't know. Some people just crazy. But to get into a debate with somebody in your family or a close friend or something about religion is something that you want to prepare yourself for and not just do because you think you got some knowledge or you don't agree with what they're doing. That's something you got to really sit down and prepare for and be prepared to answer the questions and have that information and knowledge and everything, because as I said, you're taking away their hope. So where are you going to point them at the end of the day when they ask you that question? Well, what do I do now? What do I do? You just stripped away their hope. And religion has a way of keeping people on track, those who are faithful to the religion to a certain point, because there's just enough people out there who are faithful to the religion to a point. They got a good job and they got a house and they doing okay. They went to school, got a degree, and they've been going to church, but they have been doing the correct things in life to have these things. If you out there doing what you're supposed to do because you don't want to go against your Bible and you out there doing everything you need to do, as an adult, to be successful, then of course you're going to be successful. And if it's because you follow what you believe the Bible wanted you to do, then of course you're going to attribute that success to the Bible and to, your God. You're going to say, well, I followed the Bible and I went to church and I praised the Lord and look what God did for me. I have a good job and I have this and I have that, not understanding that it was you who really did all these things. You just went about it the correct way and you did everything you were supposed to do. And I always say, if you do what you are supposed to do, you can't go wrong. Some things are going to be outside your control. There's nothing you can do about it. But if you do what you're supposed to do, then those things should not affect you as much. If you do what you're supposed to do from the jump, you put yourself in a stable situation to where you don't have to rely on, a job and everything like that, or you save up enough money to where, if you do lose your job, you could be okay. Then, you're fine. You're straight. I'm proof, and many other people are living proof that you don't have to follow the Bible in order to be successful. And you probably are as well if you are, a person who wants to talk to somebody against the Bible. And it's, like I said, it's tough to do that, especially if that person is already successful and you're trying to talk them out of the Bible, which has clearly been working for them. So in those cases, I just, I leave it alone. You're doing good. You got a nice car, you got a house. It's not all about that, but it's like some people you're just not going to be able to convince. That's tough to accept. And the people who are closest to me, who I really, give a shit about, luckily they're not all super duper religious. I have been able to really talk to them and get to them about the whole thing. They watch the videos and everything like that. My close friends, they atheists. They don't buy into all that. People who I'll go out and hang out with and stuff like that. So I don't got to get into that awkward conversation about religion, even though we talk about it a lot. When I'm out with my friends and everything like that, we do talk about religion a lot. We talk about people who we know who in religion and family members and stuff like that. Same kind of questions you guys give me, I get from people who I know. And I say the same thing. Or, I tell them to go look at the video I put out on hope and fear and everything like that. Because, you got to call people on their bullshit. And usually that's one of the things to help you get them to realize that, well, wait a minute. You're right. I'm really just following the Bible because I want things from God. I don't want to have a bad day. I don't want to get shot by some thug on the corner or something like that. So I want God's protection and I want, wealth and all this and that. So if that's the reason why you are saying you follow the Bible, then that's not realistic. That's against the Bible in the first place. And a lot of people don't want to even address that or come to that point. So they fake the funk and they are delusional. So you're going to have a hard time getting through to some people. So it's something you got to be prepared for. And, this video, I'm doing to really address the questions that I get about this particular subject. And you can feel it when you have a conversation with somebody on religion, when you try to talk to them about it, you feel uncomfortable yourself because you can feel their uncomfortability, and you can feel that they are trying to change the subject, or they don't want to talk about it, or a person gets irritated or upset when you start talking about religion. I don't want to talk about this. Let's talk about something else. Those people, you can't get through to. You got to just, take it step by step and learn from it. I've had conversations with people to where it got nowhere. We end up debating and this and that. And then like a week later, they send me a text or a message saying, what book should I read? Okay, well, I'm going to go your way. Where should I start? And I recommend some books and stuff like that. Or, we talk. There's so many people who I have, really helped with the whole issue of religion, and they're not Christians no more, or Muslim or what have you. So many people, and they're better for it. And I get messages all the time. People always thank me and say, "Oh man, you saved me," and this and that. And no, you saved yourself because you accepted the information. That's what it's all about. No matter how much sense you make, and no matter how much truth you have, if a person is not willing to accept it, it's nothing. It doesn't mean anything to them, at least. You can try to convince me all day about the Bible and its validity and everything like that. If I don't want to accept it, it's nothing you can do about it. It's just that simple. So what? That makes sense. So what? 1 + 1 = 2. So what? I don't care. It equals 9 to me. So whatever you say, I don't care. It's 9. And that's just how some people is. It's frustrating, I know, but it's what you have to be prepared for and what you're going to have to deal with in a lot of cases. Remember, fuck common sense, throw it out the door when you're talking about religion. It does not fit there with these people. Common sense you can't bring to the table. These people believe that, a 500-year-old man spent 100 years building an ark and putting 2 of every animal on it, and that a grown-ass man can survive 3 days in a big fish. If you actually believe that, come on. If a person believes that, I don't know what kind of sane conversation you're going to be having with them. So good luck with that whole thing. Some people you got to keep it moving. Other people you have to approach the right way. And I found that the people who I approach with facts and knowledge, like if you was to go through my phone and has stuff kind of like laid out, to like if I have a conversation with a person, I can show them in my phone pictures and things like that to help me prove my point about the Bible and everything. But most people, for the most part, I found when I come scholarly with, all my ducks lined up and all the information and facts and stuff like that, and I show people, then, I get my point across. The biggest thing that you can say to a lot of Christians is, do you know that we don't have the original Bible? And a lot of people don't understand that. That right there changes a lot of people's mind. They say, well, wait a minute, we don't have the original ones. Well, what do we have? Well, we have copies of copies. And do you know the copies that we have are proven to have errors and mistakes, and that some stuff was added and some stuff was taken away? Well, how do you know that? Well, because we have earlier manuscripts. The oldest manuscripts don't have some of the things that the new ones have. And then when you can prove this to people, and when you show people, it's like, well, wait a minute. It's crazy. God wouldn't do this. God, God gave Moses power and Noah the knowledge to build the ark, and, Jonah 3 days in a well, and Jesus walked on water. He wouldn't give these men the power to preserve a book. Why would God not do that? Why would he not give these men the power to preserve his word that we're all supposed to live by? We got this mess. So when people think about that, it puts doubt in their mind, and it changes their whole perception of the Bible, and they're more willing to listen to more information that you have. So when you can do that, when you can show people the actual manuscripts, and when you can start breaking stuff down and getting people to understand how we actually came about getting the Bible, or getting the Torah, or getting the Quran and everything. When you actually can start showing people, like, this is how we got this. This is what they say. This is what the facts say. And you can do it on a scholarly level, to where you're not being condescending, you're not being disrespectful, and they can understand. You can have a civilized conversation. Then you get people to really start listening. Like, damn, that's crazy. Where do I go next? And where do I go next is the hardest question to answer. So the only thing you can do is, If you want to point them in the direction that you have went, or just tell them, straight up, I don't know. It's up to you now to do what you feel you want to do with your life, and not put everything on this book that it's not doing anything for you. Without the book, you would still exist. You would still be you. You still have control over your life. So, do what you got to do. Do what you need to do to make you happy and be successful. So, it's tough to prepare for such a delicate conversation, and it does tend to get heated, and some people do feel uncomfortable with the conversation. So it's really up to you at that point to continue or not to continue. But at the end of the day, there is no religious debate. You are right, and that should be enough for you. If they want to go ahead and carry on with, faking the funk, you got to respect their decision and let them do what they got to do. If they're willing to listen, then make sure you have the knowledge to talk to them and to teach them and to help them, go in the correct path, the correct direction. And this is all you can do at the end of the day. So, that's like really, I have videos, I talked about this stuff before, but I wanted to really address the many messages and comments I got on this specific subject about the uncomfortability of talking about religion, because a lot of people have it. Even now, still, you be walking down the street, you have those little missionary dudes with the little white shirts on. They come up to you. I mean, it's almost like they're gonna rob you when they walk up to you. If there wasn't white boys, I'd probably be jumping out my pants. But they walk right up on you, smiling and everything. I mean, that's kind of scary. I'm like, what the hell y'all want? They walk up to you with the missionary shirts on. They pull out the Bible and everything, and they go in. For me, I have to make a decision. It's the same thing with Jehovah's Witnesses. I got to make that decision. I can either right now shut it down. So when they walk up to me with the book, I can just shut them down with information and facts right then and there, or I could just keep moving. And that's what I usually do. If I got the time to, I let them talk, and they say their whole piece about Jesus, this and that, da 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 da. Then I say, well, we don't got the original books of the Bible. How y'all know this is the Word of God? And that's a real straightforward question. Oh, well, we have faith. Oh, well, I can't really go by faith. I need facts, bro. I need to know what's real. I can't go by faith, And they'll either try to continue to hound on it. And some people, religious people, they got this thing where they feel like they know they right, and they don't want to let you go. They feel like they're trying to really save your soul, and they got to fight to debate with you. So while you trying to exit the conversation, they feel like, they want to just get you and convince you to join the Bible or read the Bible or something like that. And they'll try hard. Those people I crush, because those are the ones who you really got to get, because they really fixated on the Bible and they really believe that it's doing something. So those are the ones who I get right into facts with. I was straight to the point and show them like, no, especially the ones who talk and sound like they want to sound educated, or they try to run game on you or try to run knowledge on you as if, they're trying to teach you something. Those dudes, I shut those guys down all the time, because they need to wake up and understand what they're doing to our people, misleading us. And if you're going to take the time to walk around and try to, Jehovah's Witnesses I'm speaking to now, and knock on black folks' door and try to get them to accept the Bible and all this and that, for what? But again, it's up to you guys how far you want to take it. Prepare yourself. Know what you're talking about. Go into the conversation understanding the Bible, understanding the message that you want to get across. It might take more than one try. They might give you, well, I don't feel like talking about this stuff, and keep it moving. It's up to you to let it go or to keep going. Like I said, everybody, you're not going to be able to get your point across to. You're not going to be able to have a conversation with. But, that's something you have to accept. Now, quick video I wanted to do. They wanted to be too long. I want to thank you guys for watching. And, I'll see you guys next video.